Why is it important for everyone to have a personal meaning revolution in their life? And I'm glad that you asked that. So, um, really, I think it's two things, right? I think that there is this thing happening societally, globally, where there's a lot of just negative energy out there, right? Call it the internet, call it TV news, call it just being in your communities. But I've noticed, and I know some of my peers have noticed, that so many people are just so much more miserable and so cranky or so focused on negative things that it shows up with in bad behavior out in public or treating relationships poorly. And I think the way to change that is to shift the focus to like away from drama, away from divisiveness, away from those types of things, into the things that you personally find fulfilling and you personally find meaning in, and you are motivated then to go work on those and leave a legacy that leaves the world a little bit better than you found it, right? So that's one of the main focuses, I think, of why this meaningful revolution's important. Because going back to that ratio, if for every 1 hour of meaningful work that you're doing 4 hours of work that is busy work that doesn't matter, work that you don't feel like you have control over your life, then that's a recipe to burn out over the long term. That's a recipe to really not feel connected to your life, not feel motivated. Maybe, misery and despair could fall into that. Especially if the more that ratio gets out of whack. If you had 1 hour every day where you worked on things that you love, like that's better than nothing. But there's a better quality of life for you, and you'll feel better. You'll treat the people around you better. You'll contribute to the world a little bit better, I think, if you really focus in on that. So, the second thing that I think it's really important to have a meaningful revolution is that I feel fulfillment is a necessary component for happiness, right? And there's so many different ways we can find fulfillment. We can find it through our own self discovery, right? Sometimes just figuring out how you work better helps you feel more connected to the world around you. It helps you feel like you're living your truth, right? Which is why the second part is a lot of people find fulfillment in their work. And I think the biggest thing that with work is if you're growing, if you're learning, if you're figuring stuff out about yourself and how you do the thing that you do and make it better, that act of learning, that act of growth is really fulfilling in itself. So